The best of the Two Live Stews experience.
People want me to talk about dating a celebrity. People want me to date Sexy Red. That shit ain't gonna happen.
Well, but real quick,
I would never even throw my darn line in the Sexy Red water.
Listen, if you're about the business of this show, and you can come up on Sexy Red, that would be huge for us.
Man, you crazy. I wouldn't put your penis in Sexy Red. I cleaned that up the best way I could.
God is good.
You gotta be
and
kidding
Lord, please
me.
forgive us. Lord, please forgive us.
God
is good all the time, and all the
kidding
time
me.
God is good. If you don't know him and need to find him and show him love, that's all he's showing you. Nothing but love. Yeah, man. If you got your PP on these streets, man, you need to put it in something that's gonna benefit the show. Straight up. Take one for the team.
Nah, that's not gonna happen. I'll sexy your red.
The best of the Two Live Stews experience.
Hey, people, it's your boy Chubb Rock. There's a new sheriff in town, Southern Edge Beverage Company. And let me tell you, you better taste the edge. Watch this. Taste the edge. Sweet tea vodka, salted caramel whiskey will rock you. The taste is smooth and refreshing. Gluten-free, no harsh burn for the blessing. Make it neat. Have it on ice. Buy both bottles. Have it twice. Mix with your favorite fruit juice. Nice. Mix a liqueur combo. Hype. We're black owned. Yeah. Finest in Atlanta telephone. College Park. Check this bone. Sweet tea, vodka, fix your fam. Southern Edge Beverages, Instagram. Salted caramel whiskey on the edge. New sheriff in town, baby. Taste the edge. Southern Edge can be found in the following locations in the metro Atlanta area. Total Wine and More in Alpharetta. Camp Creek World of Beverages. Prohibition Liquor. Firewater Package. Crest Wine and Spirits. And Bim's Package Store. It's time to taste the edge. Southern Edge, baby.
We have our new advertising rate sheet available. The Two Live Stews have a current reach of 50,000 people.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Here's the big thing about it. If we advertise your business, you got to remember, this is pretty much forever. It's in perpetuity because these videos are streamed and you can watch it over and over, and people can watch what we did 6 months ago and they're still going to see your advertisement. Okay?
It's
Constant. All right. So, internet-based or Atlanta-based businesses, just going to shoot you real. I mean, if you're in Arizona and you got a brick and mortar, we probably can't help you a lot, to be honest with you. Now, if you want to advertise the show just to show some love, that's cool. But an Atlanta-based business and internet-based business, check us out. Email us, okay? sme.dougstewart@gmail.com. Here, your sponsorship packages starting at $75. And you're getting a lot of value from $75. In the Two Live Stews Facebook chat group, we got 40,000 people, okay? So you got 4 different levels. Level 1, $75. And really, it's still great because, once again, perpetuity. F with your boys. Okay? So if you're interested, email us. We'll send you this rate sheet, the packages, and advertise your business right here on the Two Live Stews. You see that right there? Bruh's owned.
That's right.
Every Q in America should be drinking Southern Edge. Steve Scott, Beta Mu 92, myself, Zy Spring 90, and you, Delta Kappa 92. Every broad in America should scan this QR code and check out Southern Edge.
They look so sweet. No. I wish I could taste the moment. Been around the world, hey. But there's nothing like that Southern Edge, girl. No. I've been around the world, whoa. Nothing like that Southern Edge, girl. Yeah. Oh, now pour me a one. Better yet, make it soon. They say the night is young. Wet this cup like the fountain in you. Shining. Tell me what your sign is. Tell me what you dream, little lady. I could buy by the bottle, I promise. Because you look so sweet. I wish I could take some moment. Girl, you look so sweet.
Hey, people, it's your boy Chubb Rock. There's a new sheriff in town, Southern Edge Beverage Company. And let me tell you, you better taste the edge. Watch this. Taste the edge. Sweet tea vodka, salted caramel whiskey will rock you. The taste is smooth and refreshing. Gluten-free, no harsh burn for the blessing. Make it neat. Have it on ice. Buy both bottles. Have it twice. Mix with your favorite fruit juice. Nice. Mix a liqueur combo. Hype. We're black owned. Yeah. Find us in Atlanta telephone. College Park. Check this bone. Sweet tea, vodka, fix your fam. Southern Edge Beverages, Instagram. Salted caramel whiskey on the edge. New sheriff in town, baby. Taste the edge. Southern Edge can be found in the following locations in the metro Atlanta area. Total Wine and More in Alpharetta. Camp Creek World of Beverages. Prohibition Liquor. Firewater Package. Crest Wine and Spirits. And Bim's Package Store. It's time to taste the edge. Southern Edge, baby.
Let's be clear. A clean, healthy environment is what you and your family deserve. The truth is, our indoor air can be up to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, which can dramatically affect respiratory health, especially among children and the elderly. The solution is clear. Clear filters trap and remove dangerous particles from the air, keeping substances like bacteria, viruses, mold, dust, and pollen from accumulating in your home and other indoor spaces. Clear filters offer a diverse selection of filters that meet the highest industry standards. Clear filters catch even the tiniest contaminants, creating a healthier and safer breathing experience in your home and other indoor environments without compromising the integrity of your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. Visit ProjectClear.org and take advantage of all the benefits a cleaner, healthier, pollution-free environment has to offer. And together, let's clear the air.
Imagine feeling invigorated and focused, not by artificial substances, but by natural pre-workout supplements. This isn't just a thought, but a reality many athletes and fitness enthusiasts are embracing. They hold the key to elevated performance without the commonly associated side effects of synthetic products. However, overlooking the potential of these supplements means missing out on that all-natural energy boost and focus. It means accepting unnecessary crashes post-workout. It's a pain point that no fitness enthusiast should grapple with, especially when there's a healthier alternative. At Lion Roar Herbs, we produce a vegan all-natural pre-workout that is proven to increase performance and boost every workout. Visit us at lionroarherbs.com to learn more and look for natural performance energy. That's NPE. We are sure you will feel the difference.
The best of the Two Live Stews experience.
People want me talk about dating a celebrity. People want me to date Sexy Red. That shit ain't gonna happen.
Well, but real quick,
I would never even throw my darn line in the Sexy Red water.
listen.
Ooh,
if you're about the business of this show, and you can come up on Sexy Red, that would be huge for us.
Man, you crazy. I wouldn't put your penis in Sexy Red. I cleaned that up the best way I could.
God is good.
You gotta be
and
kidding
Lord, please
me.
forgive us. Lord, please forgive us.
God
is good all the
you gotta
time,
be
and all the
kidding
time
me.
God is good. If you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love. That's all he's showing you. Nothing but love. Yeah, man. If you got your PP on these streets, man, you need to put it in something that's gonna benefit the show. Straight up. Take one for the team.
Nah, that's not gonna happen. I'll sexy your red.
The best of the Two Live Stews experience.
Hey, people, it's your boy Chubb Rock. There's a new sheriff in town, Southern Edge Beverage Company. And let me tell you, you better taste the edge. Watch this. Taste the edge. Sweet tea vodka, salted caramel whiskey will rock you. The taste is smooth and refreshing. Gluten-free, no harsh burn for the blessing. Make it neat. Have it on ice. Buy both bottles. Have it twice. Mix with your favorite fruit juice. Nice. Mix a liqueur combo. Hype. We're black owned. Yeah. Find us in Atlanta telephone. College Park. Check this bone. Sweet tea. Vodka. Fix your fam. Southern Edge Beverages. Instagram. Salted caramel whiskey on the edge. New sheriff in town, baby. Taste the edge. Southern Edge can be found in the following locations in the metro Atlanta area. Total Wine and More in Alpharetta. Camp Creek World of Beverages. Prohibition Liquor. Firewater Package. Crest Wine and Spirits. And Bim's Package Store. It's time to taste the edge. Southern Edge, baby.
We have our new advertising rate sheet available. The Two Live Stews have a current reach of 50,000 people.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Here's the big thing about it. If we advertise your business, you got to remember, this is pretty much forever. It's in perpetuity because these videos are streamed and you can watch it over and over and people can watch what we did 6 months ago and they're still going to see your advertisement.
It's constant. It's constant.
Constant. All right. So, internet-based or Atlanta-based businesses, just going to shoot you real. I mean, if you're in Arizona and you got a brick and mortar, we probably can't help you a lot, to be honest with you. Now, if you want to advertise the show just to show some love, that's cool. But an Atlanta-based business and internet-based business, check us out. Email us, okay? sme.dougstewart@gmail.com. Here, your sponsorship packages starting at $75. And you're getting a lot of value from $75. In the Two Live Stews Facebook chat group, we got 40,000 people, okay? So you got 4 different levels. Level 1, $75. And really, it's still great because, once again, perpetuity. F with your boys. Okay? So if you're interested, email us. We'll send you this rate sheet, the packages, and advertise your business right here on the Two Live Stews. See that right there? Bruh's owned.
That's right.
Every Q in America should be drinking Southern Edge. Steve Scott, Beta Mu 92, myself, Zy Spring 90, and you, Delta Kappa 92. Every bro in America should scan this QR code and check out Southern Edge.
They look so sweet. No. I wish I could taste the moment. Been around the world, hey, but there's nothing like that Southern Edge, girl. No. I've been around the world, whoa. Nothing like that Southern Edge, girl. Yeah. Okay, now pour me a one. Better yet, make it soon. They say the night is young, but it's cup like the fountain in you. Shining. Tell me what your sign is. Tell me what you drink, little lady. I could buy by the bottle, I promise. Yeah, because you look so sweet. I wish I could taste a moment. Girl, you look so damn sweet.
Stewart Media and Entertainment presents the Two Live Stews experience. We back, show. This right here, this ain't your ordinary ish.
Two Live Stews Experience, Ryan Stewart, Doug Stewart. Baby, we back. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes, we are back. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you, but them folks sat us down forcefully. What up to the Qs?
Do not let anyone confuse you. The Two Live Stews started this shit.
The Two Live Stews experience, shouty. If you're not stewing, what the hell are you doing?
Let's go, y'all. Get it up. Come on. Y'all get it up. Y'all get it up. I appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all get it up. Get it up. Thank you. What's up? What up, though? Thank you. Coming to you live from Campus Stadium. Getting prepared for big-time game tomorrow between Colorado and Colorado State right here in Campus Stadium. What up, though? Happy Friday, y'all. Yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank y'all for coming through, man. Y'all mean a lot to us, man. Thank y'all. I mean, for real. Everybody in the chat room, everybody online. It's your boy, One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. And this is a Two Live Stews crew pop-up. We're not going to be here long because it's a Friday night. And yes, I am already right. But took my kids to the high school game before I got started. Little mama said she didn't want to go. So I realized, damn, I'm not going to be able to go to the high school game and watch Miles lead the drum line and watch Mason wear his middle school uniform jersey all around. I got to stay home with little mama while she does what she's doing. She's outside the studio playing with her friends on the Xbox. And I said, well, if I got to be at the crib, you know what? I might as well talk a little bit of sports with my man down the dread. I called Doug. He was busy. Tree was going to be outside somewhere. Ollie's someplace working. So I said, it's still going to be a Stews Crew pop-up, just One Live Stew and the Naughty Dread. Shouts out to the good folks from Southern Edge, y'all. We really appreciate them. Southern Edge Beverage Company. Hold on for a second. Y'all hold on 1 second. Yes, ma'am. Oh, mama, you got to give me a minute. I'm sorry. You have to give me a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize, y'all. Live show. Y'all stay out. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, let's start this over. Shouts out to the good folks from Southern Edge Beverage Company. You can check them out on the web at southernedgebeverageco.com. We got a big shindig going down this week. You can put it back up, Dre. Put it back up. Got a big shindig going down this week at Game Changers Lounge, which is at the Doubletree Suites at the Battery, where the Braves play. Yes, where the Braves play in Cobb County. There's an RSVP number for you to RSVP if you want to get in. We're only going to allow 100 people in, okay? I think there's already something like 85 RSVPs. So if y'all want to come out Thursday night and have a couple of drinks on the Stews, have a couple of drinks on Dr. Scott and on Southern Edge, hit that RSVP number. Put it back up one more time, Naughty. Hit that RSVP number and leave your name, and we'll put you on the list. The first 100 folks will be the only folks allowed inside of the building. We will be at Game Changers Lounge, the Doubletree Suites at the Battery. ATL, that's in Cobb County, y'all. You can RSVP at 470-219-4155. Again, it's your boy, One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart. I will be joined shortly by the great Naughty Dread. We're going to spend some time talking to you about last night's game, okay? And it's probably going to be less talk about the actual game that took place last night and more talk about the big story from within the game that took place last night. But I got some choice thoughts. And the minute, because I watched every minute of the game last night. Actually, the game was really, really good to me, okay? As you know, from time to time, I'll put a little wager out on the game. Nothing big. I don't risk the kids' college funds. I don't risk dinner. I don't risk insurance. I don't risk the mortgage. I don't risk the dog's food. You know, if I got a little spare change to my name, I might be willing to put it on a game if I think there can be some fame made from the game. Y'all tell it, okay? So what I'm saying is, if I got a little extra change, I have no problem hitting Greedo up like, yo, I want to do this on that, okay? So last night, I'm watching the entire Buffalo Dolphins game. And prior to the game, I did not put any wagers on it. I couldn't make a decision because I really, really liked the Dolphins for last night's game for several reasons. One is because Buffalo's beat up on defense. There were like 3 starters on the Buffalo's defense and like 2 starters on the Buffalo's offense that weren't going to be a part of last night's game. So I like Denver because of how they found a way to win versus Tennessee last week. And I like Tua, and I love Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill's on a mission after how we got dealt with last weekend. So I like the Dolphins coming into the game, but I didn't like them enough to put a wager on it. Okay? Because the numbers to the series with the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, when it comes to Josh Allen, is like last night they came in like 11-1, 12-1. Okay? So even though I liked even though I liked the Miami Dolphins to win that game prior to the game starting, I said, I'm not going to touch it because the record shows that Josh Allen owns the Miami Dolphins. And if you're wagering, okay, with a little extra change, nothing big. I think I put $20 on it last night, a whole $20. Okay, so if I lose that game, I can't buy a couple of beers. All right, so nothing major. I don't get into it serious like that, but I do view myself as a handicapper. Okay, now I'm going to make this quick. I'm not going to stay on this real long because I want to bring James in and I want to start talking about why we're here, and that's because of the quarterback for the Dolphins. Okay, so let's get to this though. It is the Two Live Stews, your boy Ryan Stewart. Doug Stewart's not here. He may pop in. It is the Two Live Stews experience. Stews Crew pop-up style, okay? Shouts out to the good folks from Southern Edge for powering the Two Live Stews and the Two Live Stews experience and every pop-up that we do. I've got other sponsors that I will mention here shortly, but I didn't jump on the game. However, while watching the game, okay, the Miami Dolphins and Tua turned the ball over twice early. Okay? Now, I told you I like the Dolphins coming in, but the minute that first turnover happened, I started saying, wait a minute, maybe I can wager on this game. And even though the game has started, I can do a live wager on my guy's site. All right? So let's pay attention to the momentum. Let's watch what's happening, and let's see what the numbers look like while this game continues to advance and play. Again, no bet prior to, but while watching the game after that first turnover by Tua, I said, let me make sure I'm paying attention. I think I might see something here. After saying that, shortly after, Tua has the second turnover. After the second turnover, I said, listen, if you know NFL football, if you know college football, if you know that men lie, women lie, and numbers don't, there's an opportunity here after that second turnover, okay? And the opportunity was simple. Typically, in the National Football League, the team that wins the turnover battle, the team that gets the most turnovers, okay, will win the game. 2+. So if you get 2 turnovers or more, the odds of you winning is like plus 85%. Listen, on Sundays, on Thursdays, and on Mondays when there's NFL football, if your team turns the ball over more than one time, I don't care when it happens, I don't care how it happens, typically that means y'all gonna lose. This ain't no Ryan Stewart telling you what I think. This ain't no, hey, I used to play in the National Football League with the Detroit Lions back in the late 80s, and I'm old now, but back when I was playing, this is what happened. And no. Listen to me. If you have multiple turnovers by your team where they lose the ball 2 times or more, the odds of your team winning is slim to none. Do they still find ways to win? Hell yeah. I've seen teams -4 in the turnover ratio, still find a way to win a ball game. But typically, the numbers say if you turn the ball over more than 2 times, you're not going to win no game. So after the second turnover, what do? I open up this same laptop I'm on right now. I go to my guy Guido's site, and I start looking at the numbers. Okay? And at the time, the Buffalo Bills, if I'm not mistaken, were up 10-0. okay? And the first number I saw was Buffalo -8. That means they're going to win by at least 8 points. I didn't take that. I didn't take that, okay? It's a live bet. If you keep watching during live bets while the game is actually going on, you notice the line moving up and down because Vegas is trying to get some suckers. Vegas want people betting. So I said, -8, nah, I'm not going to touch that. 2 plays later, Buffalo's still up 10-0. They've been given 2 turnovers. I already know I'm going to make a wager, a live wager, and I'm going to put it on, okay, the Buffalo Bills because they're winning the turnover battle at this point in time. Now, maybe later on, we'll see the Dolphins get a couple of turnovers. Josh Allen is known to throw a ball the wrong way or not, okay? He'll throw the ball in the wrong direction. So, again, I'm thinking I'm going to take a wager. I'm going to wager with them. However, let's just see what the number does. Number keeps going up and down. While the score is still 10-0 Buffalo, Buffalo has the ball. I look at the number, and what do I see? The number said -2. The score is 10-0. Buffalo's already taken the ball away from the Miami Dolphins 2 times, and you're telling me that you don't think Buffalo can cover a -2 spread? I put my money on it. Bam! Hit send, got a ticket. I'm in. Okay? Now, while doing that, Tua takes a blow. Tua's out. Miami's not playing well. Buffalo scored a couple more times. Miami did score, but again, the number changed from -2, which I've already got a ticket for, to -10. And something told me to jump on that anyway, but I didn't. So I say all that to say, men lie, women lie, and numbers don't. And when you're on the edge enough or crazy enough to risk $1 or $2 from time to time on these games, if you play the numbers and you watch the momentum and you do live action, you might find yourself at an advantage because I really appreciate what the Buffalo Bills did last night. Again, I liked Miami going into the game, but Buffalo stood up and showed me that they could get it done. While getting it done, there was an injury, and that's what we're here to talk about. It's your boy, One Last Dude, Ryan Stewart. Doug Stewart may pop in a little while. I'm about to bring the Naughty Dread in. What Naughty and I are going to talk about is last night's game with the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. And we're really not going to talk about the game. I will get his initial thoughts on the game. But after his initial thoughts, we're going to talk about Tua and the injury that he took last night. Let's bring the Dread in. What up, Dread?
Oh, man, what's going on, player?
Happy Friday night to you, man. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm out here grinding.
Listen, man, before I called you and bothered you to ask you if you would do a show tonight, if you wanted to pop up on the Two Live Stews, if I didn't ask you to do that and you weren't doing a pop-up show, what would you be doing on a Friday night? I'm just curious, Dredd.
What would I be doing this particular Friday night?
What would you be doing tonight if you wasn't here with us?
I would have been catching up on some wrestling, man. I'm a huge wrestling fan. So I would have been watching AEW. I would have caught my SmackDown tonight. You know, I would have made a night of wrestling, man. Just watching wrestling.
What time would it start on a Friday night, Dredd?
What time would the wrestling start?
Yes, what time would the wrestling start on a Friday night?
Shoot, the wrestling start whenever I put it on.
Listen, this ain't the no show, okay? Don't be coming for me like that, Dredd. This ain't the no show.
No,
my question is simply, what time would it start? Did it start at 2 p.m.? Did it start at 3 p.m.? What time would the wrestling start on a Friday night?
It's some wrestling that came on Wednesday that I didn't watch. So I probably would have started it up around about 9 o'clock and watched it all through the night. So I pretty much fell asleep, you know.
I can dig it, man. It's your boy, One Last Dude, Ryan Stewart. I'm joined by the Naughty Dread. We're going to talk a little bit of sports, man. Shouts out to the good folks from Southern Edge, the Southern Edge Beverage Company. These good folks are fueling the Two Live Stews, empowering the Two Live Stews and the Two Live Stews experience. This Thursday night will be at the Doubletree at the Battery. Yeah, Dread. That's what it is. Is that the sweet tea or is that the salted caramel?
It's a sweet tea right here, man.
Yeah.
almost got me thinking about getting back on the wagon, man.
Don't do it for Southern Edge. Make sure if you do that, you do it for yourself. Okay. But yeah, we will be at the Battery down at the Doubletree Hotel this Thursday night. We're having a tasting. We will put the flyer back up here shortly or momentarily. When we do, if you have any intentions on coming, if you want to show up on Thursday night and see a live podcast, see the stews. I think Arlie will be there. The Dreads are going to be there. If y'all want to pull up and have a couple of drinks on us, make sure you RSVP with the number that we will show on the flyer here shortly. Okay, Dread, we all know how it went down last night. The Buffalo Bills disseminated the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
Two early turnovers, a lost quarterback, which we'll talk about in detail here shortly. But I want your thoughts on last night's game. Prior to the game starting, who did you like? And then, of course, as the game went on, what did you ultimately end up seeing? What you got?
Well, I like Buffalo from the beginning. I mean, prior to the game, a lot of Buffalo players were talking trash, man. They were talking some heavy trash. They were saying how this felt like a home game for them, considering how they dominated that division, and particularly the Miami Dolphins over the past few years. I think they was 11-1 in the past 12 games. So, yeah. I mean, until Tua can show that he can beat them, I there's no reason why not to take Buffalo in a situation like this.
I agree 100%, man. And they ultimately ended up playing true. We saw a Von Miller sighting last night. He's been in Buffalo for like 3 years. This is his third year. He hadn't played much the first 2 years because he's been injured. He's got like a 6-year deal, $120 million contract. And last night was the first time there was really a Von Miller sighting, okay, for the Buffalo Bills. So defensively, they played outstanding football. Offensively, Tua and the Miami Dolphins just couldn't get going. They just couldn't get started.
They couldn't get going at all.
After the situation Tyreek Hill had versus Tennessee last week, you would have thought he would have played bad last week, getting locked up, or not locked up, but getting detained prior to the game. But he showed up last week, 130 yards or so, 80-yard touchdown. Right. He didn't show up last night. What do you think happened to the Miami Dolphins last night? What was their problem?
I think the coach, he got impatient. I mean, the whole night, Buffalo playing cover 2, you know, they playing those guys for the deep route. That's why A-Chain was so effective early. He was gashing them. He was catching the ball out the backfield, getting yards. I mean, even Jeff Wilson was coming in, gashing them. Jonnu Smith was catching the short routes, getting yards. And then all of a sudden, they just went away from it because they wanted to throw the football. And sometimes you just got to take what the offense gives you. That's one thing that made Tom Brady so great. I mean, he'll just run and dink and dunk you all night if that's what you're going to give him. And the Dolphins just stay patient to the run game. Just run it down their throats.
Right.
It's okay.
Well, I'll say this. The Buffalo Bills realized that running the ball was how they were going to be effective versus the Miami Dolphins. And that's what they did. Okay. Right. I mean, Bigsby, 12 carries for 73 yards, a 6.1 yard average. If he ran the ball 12 times, averaging 6.1 yards per carry, you would think he'd get the ball 20, 25 times a game. Travis Etienne, Bigsby, this is the Jags game last week.
Right.
Bigsby was the 1273 and the 6.1 yard average. Travis Etienne, which I'm talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, when they beat when they fought the Dolphins last week, okay?
Right.
Etienne had a 3.7 yard average and 1 TD. So they ran the ball effectively. So what did Buffalo say coming in after seeing the film of the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars? Buffalo said, we're going to run this ball. Okay? Buffalo and Sean McDermott, they have had to have learned one thing. If they allow Josh Allen to throw that ball 35, 45 times a game, they are going to accumulate turnovers. Okay?
Correct.
So what they wanted to do was establish the run, and they did that last night. Let me tell you something, man. When you can bring in James Cook and he can average 7.1 yards a carry, when you can have Ray Davis who can average 3.2 yards a carry, who only carried the ball 9 times, those two guys alone carried the ball 21 times, okay? And after those 21 carries, you're looking at well over 100 yards and well over 3 yards per carry for Ray Davis and 7.1 yards per carry for James Cook. James Cook was on fire, all right? So, in essence, I was really proud to see the Buffalo Bills do what they knew they could do, which would be establishing the run after what they saw Jacksonville do in a loss to the Miami Dolphins last week. Don't try to recreate the wheel. Don't try to put a square peg in a round hole. When you see something that's effective and something works on a team and you play them following week, you need to try that yourself, which is what the Miami Dolphins did last night. Or what the Buffalo Bills did last night.
Right. And when you can run the ball that effective, the way the Buffalo Bills was able to run it, on top of that, you're going to get 2 early picks. And then in the third quarter, you get a quick pick 6. I mean, that's pretty much all she wrote.
Right. And I'm thinking, as we get to the topic of tonight's pop-up, that the quick pick 6 is what made Tua put it all on the line last night. When I say put it all on the line, Dredd, tell the folks what I'm talking about and even show the video if you need to.
Yeah, well, let me just say, last week, the Dolphins were down to the Jags. They were down 2 touchdowns, and they came back. So being in a 2 touchdown deficit isn't something that the Dolphins are necessarily afraid of. But at that moment, I do think Tua decided that he was gonna take it. He was gonna go for it.
I hate to see it. I even hate to see it, man. Before we get into the details,
the hit didn't really look that bad. I mean,
no, it did look bad, Dredd. It won't look as bad from this angle.
I mean, it wasn't
that
the
first angle.
It is right. It almost looked like he ran it. He lowered his shoulder. He ran into Hamlin's leg. I mean, it wasn't a helmet to helmet type situation.
And how ironic it was Hamlin that that delivered the blow.
Right.
Ultimately, maybe the blow that ends up ending the season for Tua. Show that first close-up video again, Dredd. You said it wasn't a headshot. I don't know exactly what the hell you're talking about. Look at this.
I'm saying
the damn helmet almost came off.
Yeah, but he ran into Hamlin. It wasn't more like Hamlin lowered his shoulder and hit him helmet to helmet. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it ain't got to be helmet to helmet. If you just look at the way his head and neck just collapsed. And look at his arms. Oh, God, I can't
Yeah.
I can't stand to look at it. Now, before we get into that hit, show the previous shots that Tua has taken on the field that has caused him concussion.
If you can remember, and I believe this was a couple years ago. Let me go back. Let me start here. Remember, he was playing in this game, and
watch his head.
Watch his head. Right, and he gets up, and
oh my gosh,
they let him stay in the game. He stayed in that game.
Right. Yeah.
And then
which is another whole story by itself.
The next week, this is the first time that I saw him. He did the West Side symbol with his hand. I was like, what's going on with Tua?
Right. He wasn't throwing gang signs.
I thought it was pretty bad then. I had concerns about it because I had never seen a quarterback respond like that after taking a sack. I didn't know if he had suffered some sort of paralysis or what was going on with him. So it was kind of scary. But after he cleared protocol, he was back and he played well.
Right. Is that the last one we got now? Is there another video?
And well, the last one is the one this is the most recent one. This was last night.
I can't even look at it. Nadia, I got a lot of thoughts and I got a lot of words.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm going to ask you one simple question, okay? And I'm going to let you go. Should Tua retire? Okay? That's been the talk all day long. And before we get started with the conversation of should Tua retire, it is your boys, the Two Live Stews, Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart. Doug hasn't made it yet, but One Live Stew is in the building, joined by the Naughty Dread. And it's the Two Live Stews experience, Stews Crew pop-up style. I got a lot of words and a lot of thoughts. And the question is, should Tua retire? Before you go, I want y'all to know that I did not watch sports TV, sports radio, live podcast. I didn't watch it all day when it came to this story, okay? I had a lot of stuff to get done around the house today. I did that. I ran a lot of errands. I run my phone in my car when I'm driving around running errands because I listen to the broadcast that I like. I give Stephen A some run. I listen to Colin Cowherd from time to time. I do PTI. However, today, because I was thinking about doing a pop-up tonight, every time somebody talked about the Tua hit last night and Tua being out and when he should come back, I did not pay attention. I did not watch. I didn't want my thoughts influenced by anyone else's on this topic because I knew we were going to pop up on it tonight. Okay? So, James, Dren, I want you to go first.
Did you hear the sound out of after the game from Mike McDaniels?
I did hear the sound from Mike McDaniels after the game. Do you have a copy of that sound, Dren?
Yeah, I can play that right now.
Okay. You got a still out there, Dred.
Sniff that subject, and it's more in line of actually caring about the human being, and that's something that entirely you're talking about his career, right? His career is his, and that's something that I think I just really, really, really wish. I totally understand it, and it's not misplaced. I totally get how that's where people want to go to. I just wish that people would for a second hear what I'm saying, that bringing up his future is not in the best interest of him. So, I'm going to plead with everybody that, that
I just cut it right there.
Mike McDaniels understands that the pundits, the analysts, the reporters, everybody's going to want to ask what is next. When's he coming back? Is he going to play? Are y'all going to enter it? Are y'all going to interject? Are y'all going to step in? Are y'all not going to let him play? What's the team going to do? Does the team care? What's the league going to do? How's his wife feel? Those are the questions that everyone's going to ask. But Mike McDaniels, okay, a guy that I'm fond of, mind you, a guy that I like his coaching style. I like his football knowledge. I like his way of calling plays. I like the team he's put together. I like Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels is a coach that is coming to you and saying, I hope y'all wouldn't do that. Okay, I care about my guys. I care about this guy. I care about his well-being. And the last thing that I'm thinking about as his coach, as his play caller, the last thing that I'm thinking about right now is next week game when it comes to Tua and if he's going to play or not. I'm not doing that. And I'm asking y'all not to do it too. Mike McDaniel, that came onto the field when the player got injured, which is something you don't see often from the head coach, as he's walking off with said player, kisses him on the forehead.
Right.
Okay? That kiss made me think that Coach McDaniels thinks this thing is more serious than a lot of other people think. Dred, again, my thoughts to you is the question, should Tua retire? I'll share my thoughts after you share yours.
That's a tough question to take in, because after he suffered that first concussion that we showed earlier, I was like, I just hope he hangs it up. I hope he doesn't play football anymore. And then he cleared protocol eventually, and he came back and he played well. And so on one half of me, personally, I'll give you my personal thoughts. My personal thought is I hope he walks away from the game. That's just me. In lieu of a lot of what we have going on in this country right now, I think that whatever Tua decides to do is totally his decision. And if he clears concussion protocol and he wants to continue his career, then he should be able to come back and play. So I personally would hope that he wouldn't play for his own sake, because I'm caring about the person as a human. But at the same time, do we give him the choice to decide what he wants to do with his own body? And that's been a topic of conversations for a lot of areas in this country. So I'm interested to see how people actually respond to this, because it'll tell me a whole lot about how people really feel when it
I
comes
agree.
to a person making a decision for their own body.
I got a mouthful to say, sir. Shouts out to the good folks at Bazooka Lounge. Monday Night Football is real. Monday Night Football is live. All right. It goes down every Monday at Bazooka Lounge, near at work, up the north side of the ATL. 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Bazooka Lounge, polka, whiskey specials. Southern Edge is there. It's one of the featured drinks. It's a Man Cave Monday at Bazooka, so y'all make sure and check them out if time allows. Dred, I got so much to say when it comes to this. The first thing I'm going to say is I hear you, and I literally agree with everything that you're saying. But let me start by saying it's just not that easy to walk away.
Right.
And that comment that I'm making to you is the comment of a former player that ultimately had to make a decision to continue trying to play or to leave myself because of various injuries. Okay? It's just not that easy to walk away. You're talking about a guy that has been playing football the majority of his life. He's probably a guy that started playing around 4 or 5 years old. He's still playing as an adult. You're talking about a guy that just signed an incredible contract. His contract was over $200 million, and there's $167 million of it guaranteed. Guaranteed. $43 million of it has been paid already in 2024. Okay? That's going to be the common denominator of my argument right there. So, as easy as people are saying, I just don't understand why he just don't walk away. Football's all he knows.
Right.
Football's all he wants. Football's what he loves to do. Football is all he prepares for. Outside of studying when he was in school at Alabama, and I know some people question if they go to class at Alabama or not. I'm here to tell you, I know several guys that went to school there. They do go to class. They do study. They do want a degree. A lot of them do get degrees. But he didn't study more in those classes than he did in that locker room and on that football field.
Right. I mean,
He's a football player.
Correct. Most players that make it to that level of the game, and you could attest to this, you have to have a certain dedication and passion to the game that
they're consumed with it.
Right. And you hear football players talk all the time, especially after they came out with the CTE revelations. A lot of players were like, if I had to do it all over again, I would still do it. Even though I know the risks that are involved.
I'm one of them. I tell people all the time, I've had multiple concussions before we knew what they were called or we knew what they really were. We just looked at it as we were getting our bell rungs back in the day. But every time your bell was rung, it's not good. And every time your bell is rung, it takes 5 to 7 days for that one ringing to really get cured or to be stable to the point where it's not more damaging if you take another concussion. So those people that have had concussions that went back out and played and they got concussed again, you're talking about brain damage that is just, you can't even recover from it eventually. Okay? But again, as we were saying, we didn't know like we know now back then when I played to understand what your bell being rung meant. So I want to tell y'all this. If there's anything I've noticed, I watch a lot of football and I played a lot of football. And the same hit that Tua takes when he hits his head on the ground, and every time we showed those videos just now, every time he hit his head on the ground, he was concussed. Okay? But another player could take the exact same hit, hit his head on the ground the exact same way with the same amount of force, the same amount of velocity, the same amount of speed, and it will not affect them the same way as it affects Tua. Okay?
Correct.
But what I do know is in the last 3 years, I've seen Tua hit his head on the ground the exact same way, and every single time he's done that, he's locked up.
Yeah. After you have that first concussion, what he got, it makes him more susceptible to concussions.
Agreed.
So anytime he hits his head going forward, he he's liable to lock up. And when you lock up like that, it's actually a brain, like almost like a hemorrhage, where something in his brain is shutting down. It's short circuiting in his brain, and it causes him to lock up. So this is really not normal, because we don't see most guys lock up like that. So it is a serious situation. I just want people to understand that.
It is. Everyone should understand that these concussions is nothing more or nothing less than your brain hitting your skull. And your brain's not supposed to hit your skull. Okay? And it affects him a little more severely than others, as you've seen every time his head has hit the ground the way it did last night. Okay? But let me say this also. The young Tua right now, the young man we know as Tua, he can't put himself in the shoes of Tua 25 years from now. Because this isn't a knee. Because this isn't a shoulder. Because this isn't a torn ACL. Because this isn't a broken bone. You know, those injuries that I just mentioned, when they happen to you, it takes you a while to recover. You feel it and it hurts. But after Tua's concussion last night, more than likely 10, 15, 20 minutes later, he felt just like he did before the damn game.
Right. Well,
and that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. That's the situation. Okay. Not only is he tough as nails, not only is he training in jiu-jitsu to learn how to fall and to learn how to take hits and to protect himself out there in the field, not only does he lift weights every day and run all the time, not only is he in tip-top shape, but in his mind, if he doesn't feel the pain in his eyes as a player, he's thinking, I'm okay. I'm doing what I love to do. I'm doing what I want to do. I want to be in here with my teammates. I trained for this. I'm okay.
Right.
I know what y'all are saying. I know what the older players like Ryan Stewart is saying. Dealing with the headaches he deals with every day. Dealing with how he feels every day, dealing with the bad body. I know what he's saying, but I don't have those feelings. I'm thinking for myself. And when it comes to him and people are telling him to shut it down, he doesn't see it like that.
Yeah, well, you know, I know the doctors are probably, I hope the doctors are telling him the truth about the situation. Hopefully he's talking about it with his family. And I mean, if he decides that he don't want to play with his kids going forward or his grandkids going forward, then that's totally up to him, man. I mean,
and James, that's not really fair either, because in 2024, after getting this bell rung and getting concussed and being taken out of the game and getting into the locker room and getting those CT scans and him feeling like he can still go, he's not looking down the line saying in 20 years from now, I'm not going to be able to play with my kids. That's not his thoughts or his feelings, because he's the one that's dealing with this. He's the one that's feeling this pain. He's the one that's concussed.
Correct. But there's a lot of history now, and there's a lot of documentation that shows what happens after the life of a football player. I mean, we saw what happened to Junior Seau. You know, he killed himself. I mean, there's a lot of players who suffered from CTE post, and their life ends up being traumatic. Their documentation, they're not being able to be, they're not even the same person anymore going forward. So I mean,
do you put into the equation at all that he's living his freaking dream? Do you put into your thought process while speaking about Tua and the concussions he's received and how they're going to sit him down, how he probably won't play next week? But do you put into your thought process at all that there's only one thing this dude has wanted to do his entire life, and that's play ball? Is that a part of your equation?
That is part of my equation. And I think as far as that dream goes, he's accomplished that dream. He's lived that dream. He's got into a second contract where he's making a whole lot of money, but based off that dream that he had. My question now is, do you ever have dreams of playing with your children or playing with your grandchildren going forward? Or did your dream stop in your 30s? And that's the question that he's gonna have to figure out for himself. I can't figure that out for him. That's a personal decision for him. So I just hope the best for him, man. I hate to see him go down like that and stiffen up like that. It's scary to watch.
So I've been a part of the concussion case in the National Football League for about a decade. As a matter of fact, I'm the guy that was the originator to start the case for a couple hundred dudes in Atlanta, Georgia. The firm that I used at the time was McGlamory and Pope. I ultimately left them because I don't think they were working on my behalf the way I thought they should be working on my behalf. So my case is still pending. And I told you, it's been a decade. While going through this stuff and while seeing various doctors getting poked and prodded and getting asked how many times was your bell rung, while adding it up and going through the records of injuries that I've had from college to the National Football League, I accumulate that I had anywhere from 6 to 9 concussions. Times where my head was hit on the field, whether it be on the ground or whether it be with someone else's helmet or whether it be somebody's thigh. Jamal Anderson caught me one time in Detroit, preseason game. I'll never forget it, on the 1-yard line. I got as low as I could because he's a low ball runner. He puts his body down. He puts his head down when he runs, but he lifts his knees high. My head caught his knee, and the minute it caught, I was like, ooh, this is not good. I was concussed, and I got up and walked to the other sideline, the Atlanta Falcons sideline, before a teammate turned me around and sent me back. Okay? So Jamal just scored, knocked me into the end zone. I get concussed. I go to the other side of the field. They walk me back to my side of the field. I sit down. I smell some smelling salts. I get back up, and what do? I go back on the field because I'm a special teams player, and it's kickoff return, and I'm the left tackle. I got to go.
Right.
I'm still concussed. Okay? So I had about 6 to 9 of those happen in my playing career while in Detroit and while in Georgia Tech. I say all that to say you don't really stay in the feeling of being concussed that long. You come out of the funk and you come out of the fog. And as a player who from day one, from the age of 6 or 7 years old when I started, who was told every time that something was hurt, every time that I was injured, who was told, hey, man, just get up and keep on going. You can still play. Is it broke? If it's not broke, you can still go. Your team needs you. Your parents are in the stadium. You can't stay down. Get up. Your mom's up there. You learn how to compartmentalize all of it and just keep it moving. Okay? So that's part of it. Let me say this too, man. I can't put myself in his shoes. I do feel as though I understand where he is and what he's thinking. But as a former player who has 3 kids, 14, 13, and 9 years old, and their mission every day is to remind dad to do this or do that or do this, or remind dad that, hey, you remember mom told you last night to do so-and-so, so-and-so, or not to do so-and-so, or remind mom and dad, you know I got so. My kids remind me all day, every day about what needs to happen and when it needs to happen. You know why they remind me?
Why they
remind? I forget.
Right. I got a partner who plays football, and he got a few concussions. He probably had about 5 concussions, and he has the worst memory of anybody that I know on the planet.
And
I mean, he can literally be at the store and he'll call you, say, man, you want some gummy bears? You be like, yeah, man, pick me up a bag of them gummy bears. And then he get there and he don't got the gummy bears. You like, you just forgot.
I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing with him or for him.
Right.
Okay, but I want y'all to know something. Copious notes. Copious notes. I want y'all to know something. Okay. Look at this. Look at all these papers. And you know what? These papers are shows. These papers and books that I have on this desk are because if I don't write it down, I ain't gonna remember it. Period, point blank. My family, we all use iPhones. One of the main reasons why we all use iPhones is because we can sync our calendars together. And that is how I know that soccer for Morgan is at 6 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Soccer for Mason is at 7:30. That's on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Drums for my... If it wasn't for the calendar, I would forget all day long, every day, because of, I'm guessing, the 6 to 9 times that I've been concussed as a player.
Right. I mean, and like you say, I mean, think about it. The guy who hit Tua last night, he almost died on the football field just a year ago.
Damar Hamlin.
And
for the Buffalo Bills.
And he continues his career, you know, because he to make it to that level of the game, you have to love the game to a point where you almost put your life second. So I mean, I get it.
You don't know how many people I've had this debate with while talking about Damar Hamlin. Why is he back out there? If I literally died on the field and ultimately got resuscitated to come back to life, because there's a small window where they thought he was dead out there, but he came back.
Right.
Okay? They resuscitated him. He was gone. The upper room, he was gone.
Right.
But he came back because of the quickness and the swiftness and the staff, the training staff of both teams at that point in time. They saved his life. But I've debated with so many people about why is he still playing. And you know why? Because it's what he knows.
Right.
It's what he loves.
Right. We saw the same thing in the NBA with Monty Williams. Monty Williams had a heart condition. They, did some things. I think he had a surgery, and he came back and he played in the league and for a few years until, he called it quits. We saw the same thing with LaMarcus Aldridge. He had a heart condition, and then he came back. So I mean, players want to play. It's very rare to get to that level of the game. So when you do make it to that level, you want to play.
Players want to play. I was going to say that, Dredd. As we get ready to close this thing up and move on to a few things, we're gonna pay a few bills, take care of a few sponsors, and then we'll come back and talk about a few games that we're excited about seeing this weekend. But as we close this this Tua talk up, players want to play. All right. And if I could talk to Tua for 5 minutes, I would tell him your deal includes $167 million guaranteed. For injury, $43 million of which has been paid in 2024. If he's medically cleared to return to football but opts to retire, he will forego the remaining $124 million guaranteed, barring any custom settlement. If he's medically forced into retirement, he has the right to collect $124 million.
You can't beat that.
Thank you for the music. If he's medically forced to enter into retirement, he can't play no more. You have the right to collect $124 million. And let me add one more caveat. Because of his history with concussions, I'm willing to bet he's got his own Lloyd's of London policy on him, or some type of insurance policy on him that says if he gets injured to the point where he can no longer play football ever again, the money that he walks away with guaranteed he takes, and the rest of the contract that would be null and void would not be null and void because that insurance company will pay him for it. If he doesn't have that, shame on his representation, his agents, and his lawyers if he doesn't have that. He's had a major concussion or more every year for the last 2 years that has made people question whether he should be playing or not. If he doesn't have some type of insurance to cover him in case he gets injured and can't play ball anymore, shame on his entire team. So what I'm saying is I'm willing to bet without knowing that his entire contract, if he never plays another down ever again, will still be paid. Tua, shut it down. You got the bag. You're winning. They keep showing your wife. They keep showing your kids. They keep talking about you being a dad. They keep showing your mom. They keep showing your father. They keep talking about how your mom has asked you to stop playing. You can't keep taking these blows that you're taking and think you're going to be perfectly fine in the future, in the near future. You've been blessed with that deal. Shut it down. Before we go into the break, man, let me remind y'all, being stranded on the side of the road is not a cool thing, especially in the ATL. It's stressful and it's dangerous. My guys at Bay 11 Towing, they're who you need to call. Bay 11 Towing's response times is always outpace the others. Those national brands can't hold it up to Bay 11 Towing. Whether you're dealing with a flat tire, a dead battery, or a full-on straight breakdown, and you have no idea what it is, the team at Bay 11 Towing is ready to get you safely back on the road. Give them a call, 404-770-6949. Again, that's 404-770-6949. Bay 11 Towing, where speed and savings come together to get you safely to your destination. Up next in the doghouse with the Two Live Stews and the Two Live Stews Experience, Stews Cruise pop-up style. We're going to put a bow on this thing, man. We'll read some of your chat because there's a lot of chat, and we do appreciate the chat. And we will also talk about a few games that we're very excited about. As a matter of fact, if y'all look at the stadium, I'm broadcasting from live today. You have an idea of one of the games that will be mentioned. Y'all keep it locked, man. Your boy One Live Stew and the Great Naughty Dread. It's the Two Live Stews Experience, Stewart Media and Entertainment. Keep it locked.
Let's be clear. A clean, healthy environment is what you and your family deserve. The truth is, our indoor air can be up to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, which can dramatically affect respiratory health, especially among children and the elderly. The solution is clear. Clear filters trap and remove dangerous particles from the air, keeping substances like bacteria, viruses, mold, dust, and pollen from accumulating in your home and other indoor spaces. Clear filters offer a diverse selection of filters that meet the highest industry standards. Clear filters catch even the tiniest contaminants, creating a healthier and safer breathing experience in your home and other indoor environments without compromising the integrity of your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. Visit ProjectClear.org and take advantage of all the benefits a cleaner, healthier, pollution-free environment has to offer. And together, let's clear the air.
Imagine feeling invigorated and focused, not by artificial substances, but by natural pre-workout supplements. This isn't just a thought, but a reality many athletes and fitness enthusiasts are embracing. They hold the key to elevated performance without the commonly associated side effects of synthetic products. However, overlooking the potential of these supplements means missing out on that all-natural energy boost and focus. It means accepting unnecessary crashes post-workout. It's a pain point that no fitness enthusiast should grapple with, especially when there's a healthier alternative. At Lion Roar Herbs, we produce a vegan all-natural pre-workout that is proven to increase performance and boost every workout. Visit us at lionroarherbs.com to learn more and look for natural performance energy. That's NPE. We are sure you will feel the difference.
One time, baby, baby. It's your boy One Live Stew, Ryan Stewart, It is the Two Live Stews and the Two Live Stews experience. Two Live Stews pop-up style. Shouts out to my man J-Dub. JDubMotorsports.com. Y'all can check him out. I've had a few issues with my truck. I've had it for about a decade. I put a lot of money into it the last couple of years. And I called my man J-Dub Motorsports and said, I'm sick and tired of it. So J-Dub has got his boy Andre on the hunt, looking for another vehicle for me. If you're into cars, trucks, boats, or anything that's got an engine, check out our boy Jay Walker. He's the host of Life Off-Road, which airs on his YouTube channel, J-Dub Motorsports. JDubMotorsports.com. J-Dub does a vlog where he's in the hottest rides and the hottest whips. He knows a lot of the coolest people, and they got some really, really dope cars. So y'all check him out at JDubMotorsports.com. I appreciate all you're doing for me, J-Dub. Lord knows I need it. It is your boys, the Two Live Stews, Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, the makeup of those Two Live Stews. Doug didn't make it. It's a Friday night. He ain't married. He probably on these streets trying to knock down Sexy Red, and we need it. Shout out to Ocho and shout out to Unc. I think everybody today saw and realized why his TikTok started recording all of a sudden. I'm trying to get to that paper, man. I totally understand. Not Dread.
Man.
You see Unc pumping the ED medicine today on social
he's
media.
been doing that for a while, man. Like I said, man, if you just take your phone right now, I take my phone right now. It's right here. And if I want to go to Instagram Live right now, first thing I gotta do, I gotta put my code into my phone so I can get
right. That's the first thing. Everybody got a code on their phone. Everybody.
Then the Instagram ain't on the first page, yo. No, you gotta scroll over to the Instagram. You gotta click
find it, Dread.
Right. You gotta click the Instagram. Then you gotta, I don't know what a live is because I ain't know, but I'm pretty sure you gotta click another button to go live. Then once you get there, they're gonna ask you, are you sure you want to go live? You gotta hit a confirm button. So I mean, it's just a lot of steps you got to go through. I don't know how you accidentally go through all those steps.
The Two Live Stews are out here trying to provide entertainment. We're not working for clicks. I mean, but maybe we should work for clicks. What makes us above the rest of the fray?
I mean, like you look at it, Nightcap Club, Shay is at the top of the game right now. I mean, sometimes you just follow the blueprint. It's already set.
Oh,
right.
Listen, man. Shout out to the good folks from Southern Edge Beverage Company, man. We do appreciate y'all. This is the salted caramel whiskey right here. One of the whiskeys that will be featured at next Thursday's tasting down at the DoubleTree at the Battery. The event's going to be from 7 to 9. Chubb Rock and his famous friends will be in the building. The Two Live Stews will be there. We will be doing a podcast for the first part of the time that we're there at the Battery on next Thursday. And then we're going to cut the game on. Thursday Night Football will be on. I'm certain Amazon will have, the DoubleTree will have Amazon so we can see the game. And they got a full bar outside of all of the Southern Edge products. Again, we will be doing a tasting so you can get our whiskey and the stews, Chubb Rock, and Dr. Scott will be buying drinks for folks. All right. First 100 people, y'all come on in. We're setting drinks out. We're going to have a good time. The Two Live Stews and Southern Edge, along with our ambassador, Chubb Rock, at the Battery next Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. RSVP if you want to be one of the first 100 that's allowed in. Make sure you RSVP. I got a few games. I talked about them. What'd you say, Dredd?
I said, I'm hoping a lot of women show up and get some of them free drinks so I can have some of the SSLA. That Shannon Sharp like action.
I was going to say, I'm afraid to ask you what that stands for. Listen, man, earlier today, I put a couple of games out there that I'm looking forward to seeing this weekend. I'm at the stadium, Colorado State. This stadium is eloquently known as Canvas Stadium. The game between Colorado and Colorado State, because it's a rivalry, in-state game, that game is known as the Rocky Mountain Showdown, okay? Last year's Rocky Mountain Showdown came down to the freaking wire, and Colorado State damn near beat Colorado. Final score was 43-35 last year when the game was in Colorado. I'm looking for a drag down, dog out battle at Canvas Stadium. I'm also, unfortunately, looking for Colorado State, who's getting 7 points, to cover that 7, if not win the game.
They got to be better than that. This is almost like a measuring stick game for 2 reasons. First of all, like you said, last year was pretty close. So if you're supposed to improve this year, not saying that Colorado State didn't improve, but the first game of the season, they lost 52-0 to Texas. Right. So this is a measuring stick game. I need Colorado to beat these folks by at least 14 points to make me believe that you are better than what you were last year and that you could possibly be above 500 this year. So this is a big game. Then coming off the ass whooping they took last week to Nebraska.
Real quick, it was an ass whipping. Period. It was.
It was. Yeah.
It was. So yeah, you're exactly right. I agree with you 100%. I think, and this shouldn't be a statement game. Colorado, with the roster that they've had in place the last 2 years, even though it's been redone the last 2 years,
right?
But Colorado, with the roster that they got in place versus Colorado State, it shouldn't be a comparison. Coach Prime really needs to call a good game. Coach Prime really needs to put everybody in the proper position. Shedeur needs to have a good game, and he needs to do less talking prior to tomorrow's game and do more coaching to make sure his team finds a way to win this damn game.
He does. And also remember, Big Kev 303 just reminded me, this was the game that Travis Hunter took the cheap shot.
That's right. That's right.
So
shut him down for a week or two.
He need to get his get back. And Shiloh is gonna be out. You know, he had the surgery on his arm, so he's gonna be out. But hopefully the secondary isn't too hurt because of it. But that defense ain't look good all year.
What's Coach Prime's future, Dred? His immediate future, in your humble opinion?
Immediate future meaning this weekend or after this season?
This season, after the season.
Man, I really hope he sticks out and finishes the process.
Boy,
that's what I hope. I really hope he does. If he not, then it's gonna be a lot of talk about him possibly being a sham. You know, which I'm not mad. You know, I've seen a lot of coaches want to coach their children. You know, they coach them in rec ball. They coach them in high school.
You be stealing my thunder, Natty, but go ahead.
Right. But I just don't see how he's going to be able to pull it off to where he coaches his son in the next level, considering he hasn't really proven just yet to be a great coach. He hasn't proven to be an awful coach. He just hasn't proven to be a great coach right now. So even if he does go to the NFL next year in some capacity, maybe it'll be a position coach. Maybe somebody give him the DB coaching job wherever Shedeur goes or something like that. But I don't see it as a situation as where he can be a head coach for an NFL team. Not right now.
The great Joe Hamilton and I, Joe Hamilton's Heisman runner-up to Ron Dane about a decade ago now. And he and I talk quite often. Years ago, because he's not a Coach Prime believer either, because he's really a real coach, you know. So it's Prime. He's been coaching his kids since Little League all the way through damn near college now, which is where they're at. But one of the things that I talked to him about was Coach Prime being bigger than JSU when he was there, and me understanding how he would ultimately leave JSU and go to a Power 5. And when he does that, he would take his players and his sons right along with him. Okay. And as we know now that did come to fruition. So the new talk has been, well, what's going to happen once Shedeur and Shiloh are gone? Is he still going to have the passion to want to coach other people's kids in college? And I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is undoubtedly hell yeah, with how Colorado has shown that they will step up to the table and give him what he needs to recruit To my understanding, he's got access to the plane. He can take it and go whenever he wants.
Right.
My family just came home from the game. I'm just saying, hey. So I do think that even when Shador and Shiloh leave, if this will be their last season, that Coach Prime stays at Colorado and tries to figure out a way to finish the drill, tries to figure out a way to make them a household name, try to figure out a way to increase the low-hanging fruit that he's accumulated to this point. Okay, I still think that he's got a hell of an opportunity to show folks that he's got what it takes to find a way to win in Power 5 football. Okay. However, I do think it's going to have to be done without Shador, and I do think it's going to be a relatively tough year this year based upon what we've seen these first couple of games. And I wonder if his pride, if he takes a beat down again this year, I wonder if his pride will allow him to say, I'm going to stay and make sure that when I leave this place, it was much better than I came. Your thoughts before we move on to other games?
I mean, I believe that it's highly possible that after Shador and Travis go to the league, that his job with them is done. He got them where they needed to go, and now it's time to work on these other young men, and hopefully he can help them fulfill their dreams going forward. So I don't know how good of a recruiter he is, or I would say as far as his planning in recruiting, because we know that he doesn't get a lot of high school players. He likes to go to the portal. And when you go to the portal, it's showing that when you build a team that way, you don't really build the chemistry. You know, Northern Illinois coach, like I said, when they beat Notre Dame.
Coach Hammond. Yeah,
Coach Hammond. One of the things they had been building together for a few years.
Agreed.
And this team hasn't been building together. It's almost like they've just been brought together.
Agreed.
And it's very hard to win football games that way. So I wish him the best, man. You know, I'm pulling for Deion 100 because he was one of my favorite football players. So, you know, when I talk about anything on this platform, I'm always objective. You know, that's just how it goes.
Coach Prime, holla at your boys, man. Come on the show. Check us out at Two Live Stews, YouTube.com, Two Live Stews, Facebook.com. Come on, man. Pull up on your boys, Coach Prime. All right, Dre, let's put a couple of games out there we're interested in. And then we'll read some of the chat. And then we'll get out of here. It's a Friday, man. My family's back from the game. I need to go ahead and be a dad for a little while before these kids go to bed. I told you about Colorado State. I'm taking Colorado State plus the 7. LSU versus South Carolina. I really like South Carolina in this game, plus 7. South Carolina showed me a lot this past weekend versus Kentucky, a game that they did win. And LSU, I don't know if Brian Kelly's that guy. He really needs to get it right. But I do know for a fact that this South Carolina team is better. My last college game before we get to your college picks, Dredd, will be Wisconsin versus Alabama. This game is in Wisconsin. They're giving Wisconsin 16.5, and Wisconsin plays hard-nosed line of scrimmage football. From what I saw from Alabama last week, I just don't know if they're going to be able to take the repeated blows on the line of scrimmage from Wisconsin's old line of D-line. Them big old country-fed cornbread boys are ready to play ball. And I question if the new coach at Bama is ready to get down in the trenches like he needs to. Who's the games you're looking forward to in college football, Dredd?
I think you already mentioned Alabama and Wisconsin.
I did.
That's going to be a big game for the reasons that you laid out. Georgia and Kentucky could be a big game because we just need to see is the quarterback legit against SEC competition. So that could be a game that's worth watching. It's really a lot of what I would call, I don't want to call them cupcake games because anything can happen in college. You got a bunch of 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds playing against each other. So there's an upset that can happen at any time.
Somebody sneak their girlfriend in the hotel and don't go to sleep all night because they're doing some other things and they get up there feeling they be tired. You'll be able to see it, but it happens all the time. Trust me.
Correct. And I guess the last one I would say is probably, you know, I'm interested to see how dominant Texas can continue to be. So, you know, they have UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio. tomorrow, and Texas have been blowing people out. They showed up to the SEC and they look really good. So I'm interested to see how they can maintain their dominance in college football this season going forward. They might be the real deal.
National Football League, man, the Lions versus the Bucks. Again, I mentioned it earlier yesterday morning. That line started at -4. The Bucks have lost 2 corners and a starting safety. The line has now moved from 4 to 7.5. That says a whole lot about what they're thinking about this game. I like the Lions to find a way to shut Baker down. I like the Lions offense to find a way to put up over 300 yards of passing offense and a couple hundred running. Not a couple hundred. Let's say about 120 running because they got 2 really good backs. I think the Lions should beat them down. And because of the injuries on their defense, I think Tampa's going to have a really, really hard time, even though that game is in Tampa. The Bengals are talking trash about Kansas City. Jamar Chase, who shouldn't be out there playing, who's suiting up to go out there and play again this weekend. It just blows my freaking mind. It hurts my heart. But he's talking trash about the Chiefs and the Bengals, who took a loss last week to the Patriots. Okay? The Bengals, who took a loss last week to the lowly Patriots, talking trash. Right. And they got the Chiefs in Kansas City. KC's favored by 4.5. I think KC beats the brakes off of Cincinnati this weekend.
No T. Higgins tomorrow.
No T. Higgins.
Like I say, Jamar Chase trying to get back into the mix. I mean, the man got to play football.
He got to play football, but he shouldn't play without that deal. He said he was going to hold out until he got a deal. I think he should stick with it. It is what it is.
He wasn't going to get a deal with 2 years left on this contract. The NFL owners are not going to allow the Bengals to make that kind of move because it's going to set a precedent that they don't want to deal with going forward.
Right. Well, people said that the Browns wouldn't pay Deshaun a fully guaranteed contract. People said that Jerry wasn't going to give Zeke a deal 2 years before his deal was over, but Jerry did that because Zeke was holding out. So
yeah, but
don't say never.
Zeke is a running back, so it's a little bit different.
He runs the ball more. He gets the ball more. He takes more hits.
Yeah, and that's why Zeke really wasn't coming back because the running back's shelf life is so short as compared to a wide receiver. So it's a little bit different, but I get it. I just
hope Chase don't go out there and ding a wheel. Last game I mentioned for the NFL before we get to your games, Battle of the Birds, Falcons. They head to Philadelphia. Eagles had a good win this past weekend versus a formidable team. They beat Green Bay, a good Green Bay team. Eagles are favored -6.5. Kirk Cousins out there can't move. People are saying that, when he was in the shotgun, it was a pass every time. When he was in the pistol, it was a run. I mean, it was just disgusting. He couldn't get out of the pocket. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to smash the Dirty Birds, but we will see. They're 2 very good NFC teams. What's the National Football League games you like, Dred?
Yeah, we gotta see about Kirk Cousins if he can move around that pocket, because I think the Falcons have a decent defense, but if you keep them on the field all game, then any defense could get torched. I mean, Philadelphia has a potent offense, so I really don't think it's gonna be that close of a game. But I guess we'll see. Monday night, anything can happen on the Monday night. I think I look forward to seeing the Cowboys and the Saints. The Saints put a real beat down on the Panthers last week. I mean, embarrassed them. I mean, I think they down there put up 50 points, and then the Cowboys, Deshaun wasn't. This is just a game where I guess I want to see the Saints a legitimate, and I don't believe they are because they just played the Panthers, but they beat them so bad. I want to see, are they a legitimate contender in the NFL, particularly in the NFC South? So the Cowboys is a good test because the Cowboys got a good defense, solid defense. Dak got his money. CeeDee Lamb is back out in the fold. This is week 2, so I expect the offense to be clicking a little bit better than it was last week when they really didn't need it to be all clicking because Deshaun was so awful. So I'm really looking forward to that game. I am looking forward to the Browns and the Jags because I want to see is all this stuff that's in the news about Deshaun Watson, is it weighing on him? He had one thing I don't like excuses. And you know,
Mhm.
last week he was like, my father passed, my friend passed, and then don't play. You know, once you get on that field, we don't look at none of that. All we look at is that number on the back of your jersey, and did you play well or did you not play well? And so now he's
Excuses are tools of the incompetent, used to build monuments of nothingness, and those who use them suddenly amount to ish.
right. So I'm looking forward to that game, and then the since Russell Wilson is not playing this weekend, is no real reunion in Denver. So I'm looking at the Ravens and the Raiders. You know,
Okay.
Lamar got to bounce back this week. He had a good game
Yeah.
against Kansas City statistically,
He did.
but the team fell short. He has a hard time beating Kansas City. But this week you got the Raiders and you're at home, and I want to see how Antonio Pierce continues to evolve as a head coach himself. He's another guy that has a lot to prove.
They took a tough one last week, and they got to find a way to get a win, man. Before we get out of here, let's talk about the World Changers. It's a brand that encompasses 3 distinct platforms, each with a unique focus, but sharing the common goal of creating positive change for individuals and communities. The World Changers helps empower individuals and communities through financial education and implementation. All right. Your agent, Mr. Hawkins, has made significant strides in the financial services industry, using his expertise to guide and support others in achieving financial stability and success. The Varel uses a holistic approach that addresses the mental, physical, financial, and spiritual aspects of well-being, and Lavelle is passionate about helping others. Give those folks at World Changers Financial a call at 919-764-4626 and schedule a consultation with Lavelle at 919-764-4626. You can also check them out on the web at worldchangers.com. Theworldchangers.com. That's our folks, The World Changers, trying to get you the financial needs and information that you need. Now let's read a couple of chats, man, before we get up out of here. Of course, the dogs and poodles have done what they usually do. My man Ramiro Head said concussions don't hurt at all, besides a headache. But the headaches aren't that bad from my point of view. Ramiro Head, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. Concussions don't hurt that bad from your point of view.
But just a headache.
Right, just a headache. Yeah, I mean, it's a migraine times 20. Okay, and they're all not the same, but when you see that man's body lock up like it did last night, and Dredd showed the one a couple years ago where he locked up and his hands was like doing the West Side thing. Yeah, I don't too much care about how you think those things feel. Julius 35C, sometimes your dreams can turn into nightmares later on in life. I agree 100%. Sometimes you think that what you're enjoying and what you think is good for you is the best, and it can ultimately be what's really, really bad for you and set you back the most. The Jungle Brother, why black coaches can't be decent? Why they got to be great? Dan Lanning is decent, far from great. Why we're graded on a different scale than other coaches? I agree. It's not just in the coaching industry either. That's just in life.
I mean, I agree, but why don't we want our coaches to be great? I don't
Well, I was
understand
just-
what's wrong with pushing for greatness.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. I think that everyone that does anything, especially for a trade, that's how you make your living. I think you should definitely shoot for the stars and definitely want to be great.
Right.
Anything less than that is like, what the hell you doing? I'm reading a book right now from Jim Collins, a book called Good to Great. Sir, it's mind-blowing to me how some people will settle for just being good. I've always been one that wants to be the absolute best at whatever it is I'm doing in life.
Yeah,
And
I think it's real.
other people that don't do that, they fall short of the glory of God.
Right. I think his real issue is not with us wanting the black coaches or players to be great. His real issue is that the owners, who are mostly white, have accepted other white coaches to be mediocre and still have a job. Well, they haven't accepted black coaches or players to be mediocre and still had a job. But that doesn't mean that we should not want and push our players and our coaches to be great, because we are great.
I agree.
That's what we're supposed to do.
We kings and queens, player. Jungle Brother says, so it's okay to make excuses for Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers. Who do we make excuses for?
I think we didn't even bring up Aaron Rodgers or Joe Burrows.
Did we make excuses for somebody else?
No. I don't know.
We just tore. As a matter of fact, all week long we tore Kirk Cousins a new one all week long.
Right.
Yeah. So we didn't make no excuses for. I mean,
the same.
He
also says why not he didn't mention the quarterback of the Browns. You know what? These folks asking me, the Raiders, like Gardner Minshew, they asked me last week why didn't bring up Daniel Jones. Look, nobody is saying anything of these quarterbacks. These quarterbacks aren't.
Thank you.
We don't have high expectations. Daniel Jones is trash. We know it. Gardner Minshew is a backup. Why?
I'm very glad you brought that to the table.
High expectations for them.
I got a buddy that let me have it the other day about his favorite team. And I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to mention his favorite team. Okay. My point to him was, man, we do this show Monday and Thursday morning at 7:00. And sometimes we get done around 8:15. Sometimes we get done right around 9, but it's just 2 hours. I don't have the time to dedicate to your terrible ass team and how the terrible football they played this past weekend. I'm trying to hit highlights, stuff that people want to talk about. I'm trying to talk about the good football that was played or the bad football that was played by good teams that we thought would play good football, but they play bad. I'm trying to create conversation pieces. We can't hit it all in this little bit of time we got. Prayerfully, one day we will be able to.
And then then people don't want you to criticize the black quarterbacks. He's like, well, half of the league has black starting quarterbacks. If we don't criticize them, which all of them are projected to be great, excellent. That's why that's why they're drafted so high now and they're in the league. Then we won't be talking about any quarterbacks. We can't talk about Will Levis. We can't talk about Daniel Jones. We can't talk about Sam Darnold.
No. Listen, man. David Carr is a very good quarterback. He used to be a quarterback for my team in Las Vegas with the Raiders, and now he's in New Orleans. He had a good game versus Carolina, but we didn't take no time talking about Carr and Carolina or Carr beating Carolina this past weekend. Ain't no time for that. Too many other things to talk about, too many other things to delve into.
Correct. We talked about the Saints putting a whooping on Carolina. I not one time mentioned Bryce Young. Not one time. Because there's no expectations.
For what?
Right.
Fly tie. If Prime just need good coordinators, then his choices have been horrible. He had his choices. I agree. This is the second set of coordinators that he's hired while being here in Colorado. Right. He had a couple different coordinators while he was at JSU. So Fly tie is right. You got to put it together.
He's had NFL coordinators.
Right.
He got a coordinator that's in Dallas right now getting high praises.
Right.
With Minnesota was winning and getting them to the playoffs. So Warren Sapp is on that line. He got we know Shermer was a coordinator.
I didn't see Sapp I didn't see Sapp at all this past weekend. Did you see him at all during the game?
I didn't see him either, but he's supposed to be out there.
Oh yeah, he's probably in the booth.
I mean, he got them working with the pass rushers, and the pass rushers ain't getting to the quarterback.
Nah, they didn't get nowhere near Nebraska's quarterback.
Sometimes people got to realize the coaches can only coach. They can't go out there and make plays.
That's right. Loose Neck Side said Deshaun missed his massages, and I agree. 100%, man. I'm really concerned about that dude, Deshaun Watson.
You know what?
Not concerned like losing sleep concerned, or not concerned like, he ain't got the paper to sustain a good lifestyle, even if they kick his butt out of there. But I mean, it's just he just hadn't been the same since he left Houston. I really wonder if he can get back to that.
What I don't understand is with this new allegation. This new allegation is not something he just did. This is some of the same old stuff. Why didn't this particular woman go ahead and get her money then 4 years ago when everybody else was getting their bread? Why she wasn't ready?
She wasn't ready. She didn't want to talk about it then. She didn't want
That's
to talk
crazy.
about it then.
I read the story and it seems really fishy. You know,
Doug and I talked about it earlier today. Her lawyer is saying that not only do they have witnesses to what she's saying, but they have video, and they're willing to meet with the NFL and show them the video as well as allow the NFL to talk to the witnesses.
They need to suppress that video. You know what? He need that Bob Kraft lawyer. he need to have that video.
He got a good lawyer now. He got one of Texas' finest, Rusty Harden.
Yeah,
Rusty Harden.
Man, he made Rusty Harden. Rusty Harden ain't gonna never have to work again after he finished with Deshaun Watson.
Rusty Harden ain't have to work before he started working with this fool. Yeah, that's what I think. I think he's a fool to keep finding himself in the same situation.
Chief Rocker be hating on me so bad. Have I ever said Coach Prime couldn't coach? I never said that. I just said he hasn't proven to be great, and he also hasn't proven to be awful.
Hey, Dredd, real quick, don't call him Chief Rocker. His name is Jersey Vern. Chief Rocker is a totally different person.
Right.
Jersey Vern has stolen Chief Rocker's name like it's okay. It's not okay, Vern. Fly Ty said Sapp is not on the sideline. They have a D-line coach. That's right. Sapp is the pass rush specialist, and he's probably in the box. He's probably in the box. Appreciate
but he
that,
goes
Fly Ty.
practice, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, every day. Every day. All right, let's see if we read a couple more before we get up out of here, man. Hit that music, Nutty, because I'm about to get the hell out of here, man. Go play with these kids. Let's see. John Lewis, what's up, corporate brother? Shouts out to you, corporate brother. Courtney Williams said, at first he said this wasn't a mistake. It was a case of bad judgment. I don't remember exactly what we're talking about because my head is bad.
I think we're talking about Shannon.
Unk doing too much. I agree. It's from Jungle Brother. Unk doing too much. He letting those zest rumors get to his head. I don't know nothing about that zest and those rumors. You know.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of rumors out there that they were saying that he was gay, which who I don't know if anybody cares, but maybe he did.
D-Mo said, what's the RSVP number? Put up the slide of the event on Thursday that we're going down for. At the Battery, Cigar Lounge at the Battery, Game Changers, the Double Tree Suites at the Battery, 2780 Windy Ridge Parkway Southeast. The phone number, because that's what they're asking for. The phone number to RSVP is 470-219-4155. The Stu's are buying drinks. Dr. Scott's buying drinks. Chubb Rock's buying drinks. Y'all pull up. First 100 people are going to be the only people that get in. So y'all pull up. RSVP, make sure you get a spot. I sent the information to the first cabinet, Dredd, early in the week to make sure that they would get in if they RSVP. So hopefully they did.
Man, hopefully they come out, see the whole crew.
Everybody should be there. I think everybody except the tree. Yeah, everybody except the tree. Jungle Brother, I'm rooting for Colorado, but I'm taking that 7. Me too. I mean, this is one of the games that I'm taking at 7, but if Colorado finds a way to win, I'll be happy. I'll be ecstatic. Very good point. Cousin Kason Carter's in the building. What up, Kason? Colorado State wins this game. The media will be all over the Buffaloes. It's going to be bad if Colorado wins this game. It was a fight, drag battle last year.
Yeah, so I mean, the media, people saying the media is too harsh on Colorado after losses, but you got to understand they come in with so much bravado and so much trash talking, and they got all these deals, and this comes with the territory.
Yep. Big Kev 303, CU has to be willing to run the ball, and they don't run the ball well. Loose next side, Colorado's defense is better, but they can't run the ball. Same thing Big Kev 303 just said. GS35C, if Colorado can't run the ball, it really doesn't matter. More running the ball. The little running back they got, number 44, he's a tough little running back, man, but
it's just the O-line isn't good.
O-line's not good.
You can't run into the other defense.
Prime is out after the season. I got 1,000 yen on that. Kason Carter. I ain't got no yen. If I did, I would have took that bet. I don't think he's going nowhere. I think he's too proud to run, even if he loses again. I think he'll want to stick around. And I know for a fact that Colorado can't replace him with anybody else that can bring the attention to the program like he is doing. So I don't think Colorado's going to run him out of there. I think they're going to be patient and willing to deal with him because of who he is and what he brings to the table on and off the field.
Correct.
Julius 35C, Prime has already made Colorado enough money to justify his hiring. Exactly. Enrollment's up, money's up, donations are up, viewership is up, games are sold out. Prime ain't going nowhere. If y'all think he is, y'all crazy. Jersey Burn, first and foremost, he won at Jackson State twice, and he don't coach offense or defense. You all need to stop. No, Jersey Burn, you need to stop. I think you've been drinking tonight.
Yeah, they didn't win any championships at Jackson State, but they did have successful seasons.
Yeah. I mean, if you win 8 games or 9 games and you think that's winning, okay. But yeah, when we talk about winning, we're talking about chips. Championships. Let's read one more. The beautiful Mocha Bella says, good evening, Chief. Don't call Chief Rocker Chief Rocker. He's not Chief Rocker. He's Jersey Burn. Chief Rocker's Chief Rocker. I don't believe Jersey Burn stole that man's name like that.
I can believe it.
Quick reminder, Man Cave Mondays, 7 to 11 p.m. at Bazooka Lounge. Y'all pull up to Bazooka and Bazooka Lounge this Monday night. Got polka, whiskey tastings, and so much more. Shout out to you, Bazooka. Miss B, I miss you, lady. Love Miss B. She's awesome out there. Dred, I appreciate you, man. You got an A+ today. Well done. Thank you very much. Everybody in the chat room, thank y'all. A beautiful Friday night, man. Friday night football. The Fever had a game. The Phoenix are playing right now. A lot of stuff going on, but y'all decided to hang out with us for an hour and a half. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Shout out to Southern Edge and the Southern Edge Beverage Company. Check them out on the web at southernedgebeverageco.com. We appreciate you. Y'all be safe this weekend. Y'all be careful this weekend. Georgia Tech's got VMI, the Virginia Military Institute, at 3:30 down on the flats. And I think I'm going to go watch that with my homeboy. But I might be on campus for a little while.
Shout out L Film. Shout out LoseNet, Melvin Echoes. Appreciate y'all for being loyal.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all very much. Thank you. Gil Y'all Road Finest. Shouts out to you, Gil Y'all Road Finest number 2. He said it's time to hit some more corn white lightning. Peace. I don't mess with that corn, that white lightning no more. Now I'll play with that apple pie if somebody made it right. I'll play with that. But that corn, I don't do that corn. That corn will run a car if you run out of gas. Listen, man, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. If you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love. That's all he's showing you. We appreciate y'all big time. Y'all have a safe weekend. We'll see you Monday morning at 7 o'clock right here on the same platform. We'll see you Thursday morning, and we'll see you Thursday night in the ATL at the Battery, the Doubletree. Peace. Appreciate you, Dred.